So we're really excited to share this interview because we have lots of customers and community members who love making journals and planners and often do it as a digital download, but always ask like, can you get these things printed? And of course, there are print on demand companies out there who will create books for you and ship them out, but you don't have as much control over the paper, over the different features, the tabs and things like that. So when I met this lady who has created her own at-home stationery business on a really strict budget where she makes and prints journals and planners, I knew we had to talk to her. So this is an interview of her and her experience, and she talks about some of the equipment and things that she uses. But after this interview, she agreed to create a tutorial for us, and we've turned it into a little training program. You can see, well, I'll mention it again after this and after the interview. And if you also can check the link in the description for the video and join us. Here, her name is Hind Ben Ammar. And she is the owner of PlanJoy Stationery, located in Tunisia. And she creates her own planners and prints them, does everything. So I came across Hind in the Canva group, the official Canva designers group, and she had posted some of her planners. And I said, wow, we need to talk to her because a lot of our customers and students, they do digital planners, right? So when I saw yours, I thought, oh, because they want to know about printing it. And printing can be very expensive. Also, like a big investment if you are, recruiting a company, they want you to print out, thousands or whatever. So I saw that you are doing this all yourself. So I wanted to talk to you. So welcome.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And so what made you start? Let's just like go to the beginning. You have a stationery business. It's not just planners. What made you want to start that?
Well, it all started in 2020 when I made my first planner. It was for the month of Ramadan. And I wanted to be more organized in Ramadan. And I did a simple design on PowerPoint. I didn't use Canva at the time. I printed it on simple sheets, and my family members were like, why don't you sell it and make something professional? And I was like, yeah, why not? That's an idea. So the year after, in the month of Ramadan as well, I did another design on Canva, and I had a printing company. I talked to a printing company to print it for me. It was an average quality, but it was okay. So I posted it on social media, and that's how I started. Then I made customized planners, then annual ones, then I included some other products. So that's how it all started.
How it all started. Yeah, PowerPoint is a great design tool. It doesn't have all that built-in stuff like images and elements
Yes.
and stuff you can put in like Canva does, but it still is great because it's drag and drop and it makes it
Yeah,
easy.
I mean it's possible, but it's possible to design in it, but I don't think it's made for professional looking printables,
Right.
There's many things missing comparing to Canva at least.
True. So what like can you tell us like for your customers what kind of services do you offer them? So what do you create?
Well, basically, I sell planners, notebooks, notepads, desk calendars, clipboards, gift boxes, bookmarks, sticker sheets, and soon I'll be selling invitation cards. And it's all 100% customizable. So if the client wants a specific design, I create it for him and I edit it if he wants to.
Right. So you are printing it in-house and cutting
Yes,
and doing all of that stuff?
all of that stuff.
Okay, we need to talk about that in a bit because everybody, I told them I would be talking to you and they said that we need to know what equipment and like what all that stuff. What's being
That
used?
was my question also at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Right. And what kind of investment that requires. That's great that you're able to do that. So going just like specifically planners, let's talk about like the design part and then we'll go into printing. But when for design, like how do you decide what to include in a planner? I saw what you put together and I thought it was pretty well designed.
Thank you. Well, basically, in general, I try to include like general features, what everyone needs, like to-do lists, priorities to remember, a little part for notes, and a word to myself. So I think these features are necessary to everyone. When I try to be more specific, I try to include mood tracker, habit tracker, and religious tracker also for daily price, etc. But when it's a customized planner, of course, I suggest the general features to the client. And if he wants to add or remove something, I adjust it according to his needs.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, obviously, you're dealing in different currencies than we are dealing in like Canada or the United States. So when you're doing these custom work, like that's involved work, it seems like. Do you charge a very premium price for that, or how do you
As
do
for
your
now,
pricing?
no, I don't. No, I don't. It's the same price for all of them because it can be really expensive and unaffordable.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't know when I talk to the client at first, I don't know how much work it's going to take for me. And the client wants to know the price first.
Yeah.
So to decide whether he goes on with the purchase or not.
Right.
So I just have like a fixed price to
Hmm.
all planners.
Okay. Okay.
For the
Uh,
designing part, I mean.
Yeah. So we talked about Canva and PowerPoint. Obviously, Canva's preferred. Are there any other design tools that you recommend?
Um, it depends on what you're designing or in what you're specialized in. For example, if you design logo or brand identities, then Adobe Illustrator is the perfect tool for you. If you're more into photo editing, then it's Photoshop. And if you design printables, like me, InDesign can be good. But personally, I stick with Canva Pro. I think it has it all and it does the job perfectly. So I'm used to it more than Adobe apps.
Hmm.
Um, so I master it. So I I have all what I need in there.
Yeah. I feel the
That's all.
same way. I feel it's very like it inspires creativity. Like Adobe
Yeah,
photo, using
a
Adobe
lot.
products, it it has to all come out of your head where what's gonna go what are you gonna put in there? You
Exactly.
can't
The
experiment
toolbar
as much.
confuses me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially it's Canva is way more time saving and so much easier to use.
Mhm.
However, I heard from some graphic designers that are used to Adobe apps, they find Canva complicated. I
Wow.
don't know how, but they do.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it depends on what you're used to in the beginning when you learned graphic design.
Yeah.
So
And that's a
that's
question actually for are you self-taught or did you go to school or self-taught? Yeah.
well, I'm
Okay.
self-taught. I learned Canva by myself at first and took some online courses in graphic design basics.
Hmm.
Then I took courses in Adobe apps in my country.
Right. So, like, let's get on to the printing stuff. So, like, what kind
Yes.
of equipment are you using? How do you put them together? We're gonna and as it's not gonna be obvious to anyone watching, we're gonna show some of your planners on screen so they'll know kind of what
Yeah,
we're
why
talking
not?
about. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Basically, you'll need a printer, of course, and you have to choose that carefully because it will be the main machine. Second, you'll need a laminator and a binding machine. Personally, for the binding machine, I use the cinch from We Are Makers. And I'm planning on having the thermal cinch also very soon. Um, Then what else? Yeah, stack cutter to stack thick stacks of paper, paper trimmers, and some other tools, like crafting knives, bone folders. What else? Maybe some punch boards, scoreboards, also cover guides, wire cutters. These are the basic tools. Then after that, when you get into the work, you'll figure out what tools do you need exactly, because not crafters are not the same, You may find tools in some crafters' room that aren't in some others. So.
Right. So do you know, like for a planner, how much time the printing and cutting and all that and assembling it, do you know about how much time that takes you to do?
Yeah, that's a question of my clients also. It depends actually on the complexity of the design and the number of pages, of course, for the printer. So, and it also depends on the, how to say it, rapidity. We can say that, or it's French word.
Like, you mean like repetitiveness or something you're doing over and over, or?
No, rapid, something fast.
Oh, okay,
How
yeah.
to say the
I
name?
don't know if rapidity is a word, but it makes sense.
French.
We've got it.
So it's French. Sorry, my second language is French. That's why.
That's okay. That's 3 languages for you. That you're
Thank you.
one ahead of me.
Thank you. It depends. Anyway, it depends on how much your printer, how much pages your printer actually print in the minutes.
Right. True.
If I'm clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
So if it's a simple planner, like let's say 100 pages in 50 double-sided sheets, and it has only like the general features or only lines, it can be 2 hours.
Right.
In 2 hours, the whole planner is done.
Okay.
So,
Awesome. So when in your business, you have customers just in Tunisia, or do you ship elsewhere as well, or?
well, as for now, I only sell in Tunisia. But I can sell to other countries if I receive orders. Problem is that foreign clients find the shipping fees really expensive, so they won't buy.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah, and you have a lot of overhead, right? Because you are doing it. It's like it is custom made. It's one by one. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the most rewarding part about your stationery business?
Yeah. Has too many actually. Honestly. Yeah. Okay. First one is to be able to exercise your passion. When you wake up excited about trying a new crafting feature or working on a new design or checking messages for new orders or, good feedbacks from happy clients, it really makes you happy, especially the feedback ones. Oh, yeah. Then the second part is to be your own boss. Actually, you are your own whole team.
Yeah.
And you still have to be a good boss, though.
Yes, true.
Yeah. Do not torture yourself. But I think the best part of it all is that to make your clients really happy while creating for them planners to help them organize in their lives, their studies, or their jobs, or just give them to their loved ones. Just spread love,
Yeah, totally. Very nice. So one last question is, so what was one thing you wish you actually knew before you started this business that you had to kind of figure out on your own?
That it's exhausting.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, seriously, Honestly, I don't have a specific answer for that. I mean, I think everything that happened in my business journey happened at its own perfect timing. And I've enjoyed every achievement and mistake I made. So I'm still learning from them. So I think everything happened was just good the way it was. I can't picture it in a different way, honestly.
That is a beautiful answer. And I think it's beautiful
Thank you.
because that's frequently the type of answer I give as well. Because, yeah, how do you know? You would never would have got to where you're going if you didn't go through the steps. So
Exactly.
perfect.
Exactly. Thank you
So
so much.
everybody, if you are interested in seeing Hind's work, she's on Facebook and Instagram, and we will have those links here for you. And yes, PlanJoy Stationery. So thank you so much. Really appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
And we hope to see you
Thank
some
you.
more and more of your work.
Well, I'll be posting then.
Hope you enjoyed and learning a little bit more about Hind. And if you would like to check out her step-by-step tutorial and our guide to helping you create your own kind of at-home printing business budget, we have got that for you, and do join us.